o'clock and we will bring the personnel committee meeting to
Give at least 30 minutes, like they're calling me like 15 minutes.
pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Need to adopt the agenda.
Madam Chair, if we can remove the travel policy for discussion.
It's under your name, just the
Yes.
travel policy. Okay. Is there anything else?
I'll make a motion to adopt it as amended.
Second.
We have a support. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Public comment, you have 3 minutes. Is there any comment? No. Any public? No. Okay, moving on. Nikki, home improvement. Request to hire temporary assistants.
Good morning.
Morning.
I think I did a pretty detailed memo bringing us to this morning, and I've had some conversations in the commissioner's office between HR and Jesse and Ms. Miller here. And I have an assistant in my office leaving for maternity leave this summer. And if I was left to do my job on my own, it would be the 4th summer straight that I have been a lone person in the island of my 2 programs for an entire summer. And I would probably be here before you at the end of the year pleading to not lose all of my vacation time. So for those reasons and just the unfairness of trying to run 2 programs as one person, I initially had done a memo to propose hiring some outside assistants in my office. And I presented that memo to the commissioner's office, and that led to additional conversations where our very own Kim MacArthur expressed an interest of possibly being able to be that part-time assistance. The beauty of that is not finding a stranger to bring into our organization for only a 12-week period. Getting somebody added to payroll, me spending the majority of my time training somebody, just basic office details. So I think this might be really a much better solution to create a situation from within where we could have an already county employee, already salaried, taking on the added responsibilities of just helping out in my office. That help could happen from her already office. It could happen from within my office. It may require bouncing back and forth. There's a lot of times in my responsibilities that I have to leave the office, visiting clients at nursing homes, projects with the home improvement program right out in the field. So the office is left unattended a great deal of time. So having somebody physically there during those times and being on call and being able to reach me is so important. I think everything else I've put in my memo. I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody has.
So just as a follow-up on that, HR and I did meet and we did sit down both with Nikki and we met with Kim separately as well. Obviously, I think everybody's aware of Kim's abilities and her dedication to her work. So we had it worked out where a lot of the stuff can be done on the same computer between the 2 offices so she can kind of balance it throughout the day. And a lot of the stuff that she does as far as the minutes and stuff like that, she could do as take home as well. She has salary in our office. So this would be a stipend that we would add on. But she would be able to continue doing whatever work needs to be done to make ends meet. We did feel because it's a 12-week period and it's such a short amount of time that this would probably be the best approach. Our recommendation would be that we allow it, but that's up to the board.
The only question I got, Kim, are you comfortable with it? Sounds like you are.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
I have motion support. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Britton,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Fournier.
Yes.
Thank you all very much. We'll be in touch.
Okay. Okay, Sheriff Eric Smith, Animal Control Manager.
Morning.
Morning.
In front of you, I have a memo Typically, in the last few years, we've had, 4 part-time individuals working at the animal control shelter. Within the last couple of years, we took one of those part-time and made them a part-time shelter manager. Amanda Rodriguez, around the first of the year, just shortly before the first of the year, stepped up, took that shelter manager position, at $18 an hour part-time. She's done a very good job, with everything. We just finished our, end of the year report that was due at the end of March. She, worked hard, her and Kat Tomaszewski, going through files and getting that complete. I can't say enough for Amanda. We went through some tough times there, and Amanda didn't stray. She stood steady and has worked through it and has done a really good job. Moving forward, we've determined that shelter position, the manager position, and the animal control officer, they really do need to be separated. So if you follow my math in the memo, I was able to take the budget that we have, total of $88,287 for wages, and found a way that we could make Amanda possibly full-time, living within that budget. And then if we were able to do that, we could keep her at $18 an hour, add the fringe benefits, that would leave about 41 hours a week for other part-time staff. So what it would look like would be, Amanda would be working 8-hour days, Monday through Friday, say 6 to 2 for an example. She would help take care of the animals and then work on her administration stuff, paperwork, that kind of stuff in the afternoon. We could then have a part-time come in the afternoon for 3 or 4 hours to take care of the animals again in the evening. And then that would also allow for a part-time person Saturday and Sunday to come in the mornings and in the afternoon. And we can make it work within our budget that we have set for this year. So we're asking to make a full-time position for the manager. And I suggest keeping it at $18 an hour, but just making it full-time.
So the thought is you're just gonna reduce your part-time people in order to make up that.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, simple enough.
Any questions, Bill?
Nope, it's pretty straightforward. In fact, I'll make the motion to do it.
Support.
I have a motion support, roll call.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes,
Commissioner Britton?
Yes.
Commissioner Fortner?
No,
Motion carried.
The next one is our animal control officer. That paid for out of a line item out of the sheriff's office. So after the separation with our former animal control officer, looking forward to the future, we are going to have to fill that void if that's what the commissioners choose, keeping that in our office. Like I said, on the previous motion or previous thing on the agenda, we've identified that animal control officer and the manager need to be separated. It's better for enforcement and it's better for the running day-to-day operations of the shelter. We have not stopped taking complaints, animal control complaints. Our deputies do it whenever they're working. The call goes into central dispatch, we send a deputy. We've had some prospects inquire about that position because it is currently a certified MPOLS position, meaning that they're a certified full-fledged police officer. However, everybody who's been applying, we had a deputy from another county, they backed out. And then that leaves us with non-certified people. We've had some retirees, we've had people who run their own shelters or volunteer at different shelters. An animal control officer is a very special person. I do have a deputy on staff, a current certified deputy. He said if I ask him, he will do it, but it's not what he wants to do. And so I could force a certified deputy that I have in my staff. It's not what we really need as a community. We need somebody who's dedicating to the right job, or a good job. So that brings me to a non-certified person. So there is training that we can send somebody to, and it's all online from what I understand. And it's short, it's like 3 or 4 weeks. We have a special deputy training budget, line item. We could hire a individual, get them through that initial training. They can go out and enforce civil infractions. It is my suggestion that, yeah, I have interviewed several people and there are a couple good candidates. And like I said, they're not certified at this time. I would suggest that we hire a non-certified at a reduced rate. Get their feet wet, working, doing code enforcement. And then possibly down the road, if intend on sponsoring them through a police academy. Get an opportunity to test the person out, make sure they're perfect for the job, and then we'll jump over the ledge and actually sponsor them to be that certified person, which is the ideal situation, but we don't have the ideal candidates at this time.
Eric, how much time per week, say, will the deputy spend on animal control?
If they're the animal control officer?
Yeah,
Well, our previous animal control officer, it was pretty much full-time with overtime. There are enough animal complaints that you could probably have 3 animal control officers in this county. It just depends on how much ambition you have. And that goes for all law enforcement.
Yeah.
Crimes don't ever stop. You have to put on blinders and actually finish one task before you can go to the next. Crime doesn't stop, animal abuse doesn't stop.
How does this impact our budget here?
So I would make the suggestion, a deputy starting, is about $24-25 an hour. And then they have step increases. So this would actually reduce, our budget because they're going to be if they're non-certified, we should be paying them what we would pay a certified full-fledged police officer. So I would suggest starting them out at like $22 an hour at a reduced rate, which would save money in the budget.
Yeah, so because the previous one had been paid a higher rate, so this would actually save money on the
But
budget.
she was doing both things, right?
Technically, we were paying a little bit, I think, from each budget for her. So I think she was getting partial payment from the animal control line item and then a partial payment from the deputy line item, if I remember correctly.
That's not correct.
I apologize. Okay.
For staffing of the shelter was out of the animal control budget. The certified officer was out of the sheriff's office budget. She was making close to $30 an hour. And so at $22 an hour, if that's the way we want to go, it's a reduced rate.
So you think, so net between the two of them should be actually lower than
It would be.
what we would have been.
It would be lower if we went with a non-certified for the time being. Like I said, I would eventually like to get them certified. So there would be a cost, for training. But we do have that in our budget right now also.
Okay.
So this 2026 budget, to answer your question, it would be a reduced rate.
Would we be in compliance by having a non-certified?
Absolutely. There's all kinds of, under the dog law, animal control is on the board of commissioners. It's not on the sheriff. We choose in Alpena to leave it within the sheriff's office. There are numerous counties. Every county is different on how they set up that enforcement. Like I said, there's numerous counties that they make up their own agency and they're non-certified enforcement officers. When we contracted with the Huron Humane Society years ago, they did the enforcement under our contract. They were non-certified people. So it's perfectly legit. That's why there's that special training online that they receive to go out and do code enforcement.
so Erica, my understanding is you go to a complaint, they can, if it's an ordinance, they can write a ticket for that, but if it's a misdemeanor, you have to have a deputy.
If it's a misdemeanor or felony, that's where you need to be a certified officer. Yes, so you would call a deputy or you could call a city police officer to come assist if you're gonna do a misdemeanor or felony route.
Could you have your officer do this part-time until you get someone to train or until you hire someone that is already
You could,
certified?
however, the nature of law enforcement, everybody who applies in our agency, 9 times out of 10 are non-certified officers and they're looking to be sponsored through an academy. Doesn't matter if it's for animal control or a road patrol officer. Like when I went to school 20-some years ago, I was competing with 200 people for one job. Times have changed. We get one applicant here and there and they're never certified. They're usually wanting to be sponsored. I get probably 2 or 3 emails a week. Hey, will you sponsor me to an academy? That's just the nature of the business now. And it's about $10,000 to pay for a police academy. You will get people who want to jump ship and go to a different agency. But they're typically not the type of person that we want. For whatever reason, they're being disciplined at their agency or whatever, they would like to leave that job and go to another agency, but like I said, we don't necessarily want them.
Sheriff, when we send people through the academy, is there a type of agreement where we say we'll sponsor you, but then you're bound to this office for 5 years or 10 years?
There are
2 years?
agencies that do that. We have sponsored 2 now with help through Michigan Works. So we didn't front the whole payment. We did part of it. We never did a contract. And that's because those contracts necessarily won't hold up.
Got it.
In a court. Knock on wood, everybody we've sponsored, nobody's left. They're pretty content. To be honest with you, they're pretty happy with Alpena County still. Treat them well.
To be honest with you, I'm not happy about this person being not certified. I do have my reasons, but and I know what you're saying about your deputy. I understand. But to tell you the truth, I would feel better if you had your deputy do this until you can get someone that is certified or certified. Yeah. And I know what you're saying. It's hard. You've been looking. And I don't know of somebody from another county that is certified that would probably, maybe come to help us part-time over here or to take the duties off the deputy. I
understand your thought process. But I'll tell you, if we do that route, I don't think anything's gonna change. Like we discussed, I did have an interest from a certified officer from Alcona. And they got a pay increase this year. Alcona makes more than our deputy, so they're in it for the money, so they're not gonna change. Alpena County does pay our deputies really well. That's not what I'm saying. But times are tough. People are changing and jumping ship and going to other agencies like we have in the past. We will not, I wouldn't say we will never get there. We've lucked out and have picked up some certified people, but they're so far and few between. If you want somebody to go in and do a good job in animal control, you have to have somebody with their heart in it. I can't take a deputy and make their heart get into animal control. They went through a police academy because they wanted to go out and be a police officer, and they think it's a shame because it's a stigma or they think it's a downgrade to be an animal control officer. That's their mentality, and so they do not want to do it. They don't want to deal with dogs and dog bites and cat bites and hoarding situations. They went to school because they wanted to make a difference in their idea of making a difference is going out and arresting domestic abusers and drunk drivers. And so, like I said, you have to have that person who is dedicated and will do a good job. And I don't think we'll find it unless we sponsor somebody.
Do you have a couple applicants, you said?
Yeah, we actually had, three that were pretty good viable candidates. One was a retiree from a federal police agency. But they would still have to go through a state police academy. And then two other individuals who are local here. Those two are pretty good candidates.
We don't want a pretty good, we want a good candidate.
I think if you force your deputy in and put into that position, you're just gonna create an HR problem for yourself, is my opinion. So I think this is an opportunity to bring somebody in who knows, maybe a lot of go, maybe not end up going the other direction. So I'm supportive of you got going.
And you gotta think like 15, 20 years ago, when all police agencies had pensions. You came in and you would work through stuff that were challenging because you wanted the end goal, you want to get to that pension. Now everything's 457. If I'm unhappy with my job, I'm just gonna go to another county and continue my 457 somewhere else. So Commissioner Britton, if I for somebody, you're absolutely right. Guess what? See you, Sheriff.
The labor market today is completely different than what it
Oh,
was.
yeah, absolutely.
And just as an aside, there's some other items that we're working on that we'll be bringing to the board in the near future. The savings in bringing this position in, as the sheriff defined it, even if we were to take 10,000 away from what we budgeted to put them through the process, that would still save us another 10,000, which I think we would need for the project that we're working on going forward, which is basically trying to find a better facility to put the animals in. So that would be helpful as well, just something to consider.
I do have another question.
Yeah, absolutely.
The manager, the full-time manager, as of right now, you're gonna pay $18 per hour.
Yep.
Okay. And then you want to bring in this non-certified animal control officer at $22 an hour. Do you think that's fair, being she's non-certified? If, say, for instance, she did become certified, what would you pay her per hour?
If she became certified, we would have to follow the union contract on what a deputy makes. And that's in 2026, I think it's like $24, $25 an hour starting, and then there's step increases. They top out around $30 an hour.
So wouldn't that be fair to say that this person here should start at a less per hour, maybe $20 per hour? And then when they become certified, go to the $22 an hour. And then next year, whatever. Because the person that's working full-time as manager is only making $18 an hour. So,
So they're two different separate jobs,
Yeah.
where the manager is dealing with care of animals that are in custody. We're expecting, or I would be expecting, the community would be expecting for somebody to go out and actually enforce ordinances. So they're dealing with unhappy people, still writing tickets. The potential to get in a physical altercation is heightened. I think it justifies the $4 an hour difference. I understand they're not a certified officer. But they're putting their self out there dealing with the public too, just like a certified person would be.
anybody else have any more questions?
No. Make the motion, we go ahead with that.
Support.
We have a motion in support. A roll call, please.
Commissioner Britton,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Fournier.
No.
Motion carried.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks, Eric.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Jesse, county administrator.
So we put together, just as we're moving forward, we keep seeing more and more counties facing facing news that employees of theirs are using AI for different things. And we just thought that we should probably get an AI policy in place. This was actually something that was discussed, I think, at the last MAT conference that Commissioner Peterson went to as
Yeah.
well. And he was one that originally brought the idea back. I do know that there's been some recent lawsuits that have settled. For example, they found that for those in the legal field and the courts or clerk's offices, if they're using AI, it's actually no longer confidential information. It actually is because you used AI, you put it out to the public sphere, it becomes foyable. Things like this, I think, need to be addressed. And this would definitely limit the information that we are able to put into AI. It also puts a little bit more control into our IT department in okaying the types of AI that's used and how that system is used by that department. So pretty simple policy. It again just puts kind of a safeguards up and gets us started. I don't doubt that this is a policy that's going to grow with time as AI continues to develop. But I think this is a good starting point and gets us at least something in place.
I know at the MAC, there's already lawsuits going on from counties that were, they were, like say, the county clerk put something out there and it does AI, it comes public and she don't want it out there. It's automatic. They're getting sued. So that's why I brought it back. And I give it to Jessica. We should probably do something with this.
I would think that'd be a no-brainer not to do that.
Yeah.
And so we pulled a couple samples. This is pretty consistent with what we're seeing in other counties. Again, I absolutely do not doubt that it could even come back as soon as this year for additions to the policy, but it at least gives us a structure and a framework to begin working on.
Anything, Tom?
Make the motion, we approve the AI policy that presented to us.
Or
Okay, I have a motion support. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Britton?
yes,
Commissioner Fournier?
Yes,
Motion carried.
grounds and maintenance.
I've been in touch with the Township of Alpena now off and on for about 3 or 4 months, if not longer. They are basically spending a lot of money on using different vendors, cleaners, et cetera, and wanted to know if we'd be willing to contract services out to them. I took it to Abby. She's going to be taking it to her board to discuss. So what we offered was that for the amount of $70,000, we would be willing to hire and then contract out services. It seems like a lot because it seems like they could probably just hire that one person, but they have 2 different fire departments that would need plowing and some lift stations as well. So it would be somewhat time consuming. However, we have some stuff that we're working on coming down the pike that we feel will take some pressure off of the grounds maintenance team. And so we would be removing some of the work that they're doing and just replacing it with this work. I've talked to Nick from grounds maintenance and we feel it'll be a wash. So what we offered was to do a 2-year trial run to see if it works or not. And that way we're not stuck in it long term. Definitely something we can see if we can assist with. And I think it helps our team because it'll take some pressure off of them as well. And it should be cost neutral to the county for the most part, with the exception of possibly, I would say maybe $5,000 for benefits. That would be it. The rest would be covered.
Abby's not here today, so we can.
It's not, so I'm sorry. So what I'm looking for is just to continue to go forward working on that. I want to make sure that that's not something that the board is against necessarily. And then I can bring it back either to this committee or if you want, I can bring it back by the end of the month if she can get a response from her board on whether or not they're okay with it. So what that would include, again, is plowing of the 2 fire departments, the lift stations, cleaning their building once a week, mowing the grounds, and small repairs as needed. So, similar to what we do with these buildings, nothing major. If it's a major thing, they'll call a vendor in. But if it's something like changing light bulbs or,
They wouldn't be painting, putting in carpet,
minor stuff like that.
Office,
I don't see carpeting, but maybe painting might be something that we do.
both offices, south and north side.
Are you talking about the fire departments?
Right.
I don't believe the fire departments were discussed as far as cleaning. I think they were just talking about the main office.
Okay.
So I'll get clarification on that,
So
but
that would be on both sides because the other also has an office.
a fire office, but not the main administrative offices. I'm
Right.
sorry. So
That-
township hall. From my understanding, we wouldn't be cleaning the fire departments, but I can double check on that.
I would assume somebody's gonna come up with some kind of written agreement for this whole thing.
Correct, yeah. And again, we're just waiting to find out if the amount works for them. Again, what we offered was, my email to her states, second here. 70,000 would be cleaning the building, the administrative building once a week, windows twice a year, mowing and plowing of properties, small maintenance and repairs. That would be it. So.
Do you have any questions, Bill?
No, good.
I think they were paying something like, I think they put they had put something like 35 or 37,000 aside to hire a part-time maintenance person. But then they're paying another like 30 to 35,000 just for mowing and plowing every year. So it'd be a cost savings to them because then that doesn't include things like the window washing, small repairs that they're hitting, things like that. So it's a cost savings to them. It's a cost savings to us. And plus, again, we get a little bit of relief for some of our guys. Again, the work they would be picking up with the township would be work that they'd be losing on this other project potentially. What we find out maybe in the next couple of weeks on some
But Alpena
items.
County would come first.
Correct.
I would suggest you get a written agreement put together and
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I wouldn't enter into a 1-year deal and then let Nick, what I would suggest is let Nick track what he's got into it. We can get by that, which can be a little bit difficult. See how it's going.
So you prefer 1 year?
Well, I just don't think you want to get into a 2-year arrangement if all of a sudden we find out it's not doing well.
That was my concern. Like if we have guys go over there, kind of like if we go to the parks, have them clock in so we can get some kind of bearing on how many hours are actually spent. Because nobody's cleaned from her knowledge, nobody's cleaned the roof drains in probably 2 years. So the initial startup of this is going to be a little rough. But once we get it ironed out, I think it'll be okay. Like I said, changing a few light bulbs here and there. But the plowing, that's going to add 2 active buildings that are treated like the jail and dispatch. If it snows at 2 o'clock in the morning, those fire trucks got to roll.
Right.
So that means we're going to have that cost of overtime pay, getting somebody out there, and hopefully it's not like this year and we would have, numerous events. I mean, that's going to add up quick. Having 2 more, I guess, properties that need to roll. So
Yeah.
I definitely would, like a trial period so we can get the numbers before we do a bigger. But I do think it's doable. I think it's, like you said, with what's going on the next couple of weeks, but I think it's doable. I think we just need to be careful and monitor what we're paying going out. So,
I don't think we have enough plows to do.
yeah, and I mean, I think,
I'll have 4 places to plow,
right,
north side, south side, and the towers.
the towers and then lift stations. I think
Yeah, so we did take stuff like that into consideration. There is stuff that I know that's happening that would fit into this puzzle. For example, the airport put in for a new plow truck. He plans on giving that to the grounds maintenance team. The truck's fine. I mean, it's beat up a little bit, but it runs fine. It has a plow attached to it. We can definitely use that. So we would have an additional plow truck by the time next winter rolls around. We're expecting that truck replacement to happen this summer.
But we're still not gonna have enough trucks.
I would disagree. I mean, again, we're giving up properties that we're snow plowing now, and we're just plowing different properties. It's not, we're not picking up more work. We're just changing where the work is taking place. Because we're taking it from, again, how everything's going the next couple of weeks here, potentially from one property to another. But
And the plowing is not a large area. but it's more, you know, with the fire departments, the one on 23 North. It's got that loop in the back, which, you know, that's got to be open. They pull the fire trucks through there and it's got to come out. So I mean, the amount of work is not significant. It's just going to be the timing that has to happen to get them out. And I know a lot of their costs, they were paying somebody to fill up the hopper in a salt spreader. Compared to what we've got when we go to road commission, I can make one pass through that parking lot and salt everything with one pass. So there's, I think a lot of things that'll work that we do different, that'll save. I mean, like I said, once we get it established to one of our building standards, I think we'll be good. Just getting there and getting that in shape on, isn't that bad? I think there's probably more push mowing than there would be a zero turn, but like I said, I want to make sure we got all of our numbers before we go do a big, let's do 2 years, 5 years, or.
And likewise, like I said, we can, I mean, I do intend on having an agreement that I can present. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a hard no from this body before because eventually it's gonna have to either come through you or at least through the board, and there's 3 of you. So, you know, that's pretty close to being a no, and that's a lot of work to do if there's no interest.
Do you have enough workforce to handle all this?
So that's what this would actually add another person. So what we're doing by entering into this agreement, it would give us the funds to hire another person for Nick's team. So that's where I actually think it'd be, we just replaced the one, we hired the one. So originally, I think you guys were down 2, right? From when you stepped into Wes's shoes?
Yeah, well, I think we were down 2, and then when I stepped into Wes's, it kind of made it.
Yeah, 3. So
This would give us another person to use, and I think that building only requires cleaning once a week.
right.
So the first couple times, you know, send 2 guys over there, get everything done. It didn't look bad. She had a few painting in that conference room that they use, that I guess somebody started, didn't finish. But as far as the offices, I mean, it's not bad. They got a lot of tinker toys in the windows, stuff like that. And I think we'll have to set a standard look if you want it dusted and cleaned. You're gonna have to remove all your frogs and turtles and butterflies but I mean, she was understandable. You know, she agreed too, you know, it's gonna be a transition period, you know, hey, you're doing good here, but can we do this? And then we can kind of get it adjusted. So, I mean, I'm not totally against it because we will gain another man that I can use 4 other days out of the week once we get established. So I think it's a good thing. But I just want us to kind of be careful because the snow plowing during extra hours is what's got me so leery. Because that could be so many things. And it's all up to the weather, so.
And I do agree. I think that'll be the interesting thing to monitor is the plowing, only because obviously with it being a fire station, those take priority. You know, we can't let that snow build up or the ice. It needs to be taken care of as it's happening. So
So how much does it cost to hire one more person?
under 70,000,
How much
under 70,000 with benefits for starting
for one person to work for maintenance?
grounds maintenance. Yeah,
And we're getting how much?
70,000. So there'd be a little bit of wiggle room for the overtime in there as well. I can get you, actually, if you want to give me 1 second, I can pull up what that is.
I think like Nick said, we're gonna have that person working 1 day a week over there, and then we'll have them for the other 4 days over here. So we're basically, it's a win-win for us.
When even,
Once we get the numbers right.
and even over there, I think with the cleaning, I mean, we're talking, they go over there for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
I don't think that's an all-day project for that building. Honestly, I apologize. I thought I had the number here, but if I remember correctly, it's between like 64 and 67,000 with benefits, depending if they take like the family package or a single insurance. That includes everything.
Just don't want to see our maintenance get overwhelmed.
Right. Oh, no, yeah. And again, I think this also needs to weigh what happens in the next couple weeks here with other properties.
I understand.
Because then it's a trade, and that's the only way I think this works.
Right.
I would agree that if things don't go a certain way, then that's a different story. Again, I just wanted to make sure there wasn't like a strong distaste for this. And then I'm spending the next 2 weeks going back and forth with the township and they're going through committee meetings and trying to make budget, and we come back and it turns out, this committee is not interested at all because, then it's not worthwhile.
Do you have any questions?
So
Tom?
just looking for permission to proceed, I guess, in developing an agreement to bring back for consideration.
I don't have
Nothing.
nothing about let Jesse proceed on it and look at it, bring it back to us.
Is that a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Okay.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And motion passed. Okay, good luck.
Thanks, Nick.
Donna Hardy's opioid remediation fund steering committee appointment. Is she here?
She is.
Oh, hi.
You need me to come
Sure,
up?
yeah, if you'd like to just introduce yourself real quick.
So my name is Donna Hardis. I've been in front of some of you before. I work at Catholic Human Services, Up North Prevention, and my role is the prevention director. And just being involved in prevention, just want to make sure that voice is at the table as it is one of, the considerations with opioid settlement dollars. And, just have a passion to ensure that the dollars are used appropriately at the county level, for the priority set by the county. So.
Anybody have any questions?
Just so I know, Donna, I think she'd be a great addition to the board. So
Make a motion to approve.
Have a motion?
Support.
Support? Roll call.
Commissioner Britton,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Fournier.
Yes,
Motion.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I need to sign.
I have her
anything,
oath
do
if you want me to.
I was gonna say, if you want to get.
Okay,
sworn
I can do it after the meeting.
Do you want me to, I can do it now. Do you want to do it now?
in. Let's do it.
Okay.
So raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of opioid remediation fund steering committee for a term beginning 4/7/26 and ending 12/31/26 in and for the county of Alpena and the state of Michigan, according to the best of my ability. I will.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you, Donna.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Okay, do we have any other discussions? Hearing none. Next is employee separations.
I'm not, I was made aware of.
Okay. Next meeting is Tuesday, May 5th, 10 o'clock at Howard Mail Conference Room.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn,
Second.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion is, meeting of adjourned.